A ship was found drifting in the Atlantic. No captain, no crew, no bodies. But the food was still there. The cargo was still there. And nothing looked stolen. So why would 10 people leave a floating ship for a tiny lifeboat in the middle of the ocean? And the most disturbing part is this: the ship they abandoned survived. They didn't. For more than 150 years, people have called the Mary Celeste a ghost ship. But the real story may be even more frightening than a ghost story, because this may not be about something supernatural. It may be about one decision made too early. The Mary Celeste left New York in November 1872. Her destination was Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, their little daughter, and 7 crew members. 10 people, 1 ship, and a cargo that may have changed everything. The ship was carrying industrial alcohol, valuable cargo, but dangerous enough to make any sailor nervous. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The ocean was difficult, but not impossible. The captain kept his course, the crew did their work, and the Mary Celeste moved deeper into the Atlantic. But somewhere out there, something changed. What happened on that ship? Was it a storm? Was it panic? Was it a leak? Or did the crew see something that made the ocean look safer than the deck beneath their feet? That is the question that still follows the Mary Celeste, because the ship did not sink. It did not burn. It did not come back destroyed. It came back empty. Weeks later, another ship appeared on the horizon. Its name was the Dei Grazia. Near the Azores, its crew spotted the Mary Celeste drifting strangely through the water. No one was visible on deck. No one answered their signals. The ship moved like something was still guiding it, but nobody was there. When the sailors boarded her, they found a scene that made very little sense. The Mary Celeste was damaged, but not destroyed. Wet, but not sinking. Empty, but not robbed. And then they noticed the detail that changed everything. The lifeboat was gone. That one missing lifeboat turned the mystery into something darker, because it meant the crew probably did not simply vanish. They most likely chose to leave. But why? Why would an experienced captain take his family and crew off a large ship and into a small boat in the middle of the Atlantic? What did Captain Briggs believe was about to happen? What did he see? What did he fear? And why did the ship he abandoned survive, while everyone who left it disappeared forever? The strangest part is not what was missing. It is what was left behind. Food was still on board. Water was still on board. Personal belongings were still there. The cargo was mostly intact. There was no clear sign of a violent attack. No bodies, no final message, no perfect answer. But there were problems. Some water had entered the ship. Some equipment may not have worked properly. The weather had been rough, and the cargo below deck may have created fear. Industrial alcohol can release dangerous fumes, and in the wrong moment, fear can become stronger than fact. The most believable explanation is not pirates, not monsters, not a curse. It is something much colder. A captain making the safest decision he could, with the wrong information. Maybe the pump gave a false reading. Maybe the water inside the ship seemed worse than it really was. Maybe the alcohol fumes made the cargo feel ready to explode. Maybe every small problem joined together until the ship no longer felt safe. And that is where the story becomes human. Because panic does not always look like screaming. Sometimes panic looks like a careful decision, made under impossible pressure. Imagine standing on that deck. The sea is restless. Your family is below. Your crew is watching your face. The cargo beneath you may be dangerous. The ship may be taking on water. The pump may not be telling the truth. And the lifeboat is right there. In that moment, you may not think you are abandoning safety. You may think you are escaping danger. Captain Briggs may have looked at his wife, his daughter, his crew, and chosen the lifeboat. Not because he wanted to leave the Mary Celeste, but because he believed the Mary Celeste was about to leave them. Then something happened. Maybe the rope broke. Maybe the weather changed. Maybe the ship drifted away faster than expected. Maybe the lifeboat could not return. And suddenly, the larger ship survived. The smaller boat disappeared. The Mary Celeste kept sailing. The people did not. That is the cruelest part of the story. They may have left the ship to save their lives, and that decision may have cost them everything. More than 150 years later, no explanation has fully closed the case. There are theories: alcohol fumes, bad weather, a faulty pump, fear of explosion, a mistaken belief that the ship was sinking. But no theory gives us the final moment. No theory tells us what Captain Briggs thought. No theory tells us what his family saw. And no theory tells us the exact second when staying on the Mary Celeste became more frightening than leaving it. So maybe the Mary Celeste was never a ghost ship. Maybe it was something worse. A ship abandoned by people who thought they were saving their lives. The Mary Celeste did not come back with an answer. It came back with a silence. And that leaves one question. If you were Captain Briggs, standing on that deck, with your family below, and the ocean turning against you, would you have stayed? Or would you have taken the lifeboat too?